You are not that old person that you used to be. You are not that person that you used to be. There are individuals who still remember you when leg warmers were out. There's still people who remember you from back in the days when Cyndi Lauper came out with Girls Just Want to Have Fun. There's people who remember who you were in 2000, who you were in 2010. There are people who remember what you did in high school. There's people who remember what you did when you were a member of this church or that church. There are people who remember you when you lost your marriage and your child went to jail, or your company, you lost your company, you lost your business, all these different things. They remember when you embezzled money. They remember when you were a thief. They remember when you used to have to you were an escort. They remembered when you had that affair. They remembered when you had the abortion. They remembered when you got pregnant in high school. They remembered when you were dating a married man. They remembered when you were dating a married woman. They remembered when that man showed up at your job and showed out. They remember when the woman showed up at your job and showed out. They remember when your children got arrested. They remembered when your child was committed to an institution. They remembered when you had problems with drugs. They remembered when you used to sell your body. All these things they remember. So when you are who you are now, they're still seeing you through the eyes of the past. They still want to disrespect you. You were the youngest in the family. No one paid attention to you. They remember negative things about you. So when the new you speaking, they are seeing and hearing the old you. So sometimes when you go to people and you're trying to talk to them and they can't receive from you. If you reach out to people from back in the days, hey, how you doing? And they're acting strange because they don't want to talk to you because they think you Jenny from the block. You Jenny from the block. Oh, I remember this. I remember that. It's crazy, right? Because it's like, let's say there's someone you had a crush on when you were in junior high. This person will literally think you still like them when they see you later on in life. They're still holding on to the fact that you used to like them in junior high school. And you are like in your 40s now or 30s or well into your 20s, and the guy from junior high school is still behaving with you as if he only remembers that you had a crush on him and does not realize you've grown from that. That girl may think you still like her. She rejected you, but she thinks you still like her. And you are an adult now. She thinks that she could just show up in your life looking many moons different from what she looked like. And she still has that. I remember when you told me that. Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe you said that. Girl, he don't like you no more. This man has moved on. He does not see you that way. But when they live in the past, they think you still like them. Like, guy, I do not like you anymore. Your ex will think you still like them. If you reach out to them for anything, they think you still, oh, she must still want me, or oh yeah, he wants me back. No, he does not. He's just saying hello. Since when is hello mean I want you back? Now, I personally don't say hello to my ex. Like, for what? If I saw you on the street, if we're in the same place, and I saw you, I'd be like, hey. And that's really me. Hey. I'm out. I'm not going to be emailing you. For what? There's no reason. But what I'm saying is, if you see your ex somewhere and they look at you, or they say hello to you, there's some people that will really think, oh, because you said hello, oh, they must still want me back. Why? Because they're back in the past. They're back in the old stuff. Like, listen, I'm going to have to say, don't nobody like you. Nobody likes you like that anymore. It is over, it's done with. Ain't nobody thinking about you like that. Like that woman says, ain't nobody got time for that. In other words, I've moved on, I've grown, you've grown. But people that don't grow, the people that keeps looking at you and bringing up the old stuff, they haven't moved on from that. They have not grown. So they want to keep you in this cage of who you used to be. Oh, I remember when you did this. And they may try to bring it up. Oh, I remember when you did that. That's not who I am. You know, the Lord says, what God has cleansed, let no man call unclean. That was the voice of God to Paul. Was it Paul or Peter? I can't remember. But he says, what God has cleansed, let no man call unclean. So when God changes you, when the Lord turns your life around, when he washes you under his blood, and he sets you on a solid ground, and he puts you in a different trajectory, and he's using you for his glory, and he's blessing you, and he's putting you in a position where you can get married, and people telling you, oh no, you can't get married, oh you can't do this. God is putting you in a position that you can now speak about abstinence, and you can speak about being upright before the Lord and walking in holiness. But people want to remember that you used to be the robber. Or I remember when you bust me in my head the other day. Not the other day, but I remember that time you bust me in my head. I remember that time when you did this. So they want to shut you up, and sometimes you'll be scared, right? Because you don't want to say anything because they know you from the past. But you have to understand that the old man is gone and he's dead. The old man is gone and she's dead. You are new in Christ. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things has become new. So when these people want to still bring it up, it's because they're dead. They're dead. They are dead. They are the walking crypt. They still the walking cemetery. They are the walking mausoleums. They got bodies, dead stuff. Oh, let me go through let me go ahead and go through the bones. Let me go through the bones files. Oh, yes. Yes, it's here. Yes. Do you remember this? And they're coming up to you with their fingers to let you smell the old. Do you remember when you did this? I remember when you did that. And I remember when you did this. They are working in a morgue. You're looking at a mortician. They are professional medical examiners of the dead. They hold what's dead. The Bible talks about how there are whitewashed tombs. They look good on the outside, but inside they have dead men's bones. Why? They got your business, your old stuff, what you did back then, what they saw you do, that secret. I remember I went with you to get that abortion. Remember, I was there. Remember when I got you pregnant? Remember when this happened? Remember when that happened? But you have to realize you are not who you used to be anymore. There's evidence of it. And there are people that they just have to keep you back. They want to hold you back. They want to keep you there because that's how they feel like they can leverage with you. A lot of times they are insecure about where you're at right now. They're jealous at where God has placed you right now in your life. They're jealous to see you doing well. You was a high school dropout. You wasn't doing well. You didn't finish college. And how come you're doing good? And so what they do is, well, I have degrees and you don't. I finished college. Who are you to speak? Who are you to do this? But I want you to know that God can elevate who he wants to elevate. It doesn't matter. There are people who have all kinds of degrees and don't have a good job. There's people who don't have degrees, who has businesses, who are successful. There are people who are, I think, what's that dude, Jobs guy? I don't think he's alive anymore, but he dropped out of high school or something like that. There are stars that didn't finish school. I'm not pushing that now to say not to finish your learning, but what I'm saying, there's people who get elevated in their lives and they're doing well. or had a hard time at this time in their life, and God allowed them to thrive and to do well. And there'll be people there hating on you. Oh, I remember this, I remember that. When you're doing well, they want to check out your background. Oh, see where you came from. Oh, you from the block. Oh, you filed bankruptcy. Oh, you can't talk to me. When people start to go dig up your past and see what you have going on, you don't hit a nerve in them. So what they want to do now is go and look at your track record and see the things that you've gone through to say, oh, this person's not worthy to speak to me. They have to do that to speak of themselves, to say that, oh, well, I've never filed bankruptcy, but he did, she did, so they're not qualified to speak to me. Oh, well, oh, she used to be this way and he used to be that way, and remember, they were rejected. Remember, they used to like you. Oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Because they're grasping for straws. Let me go and find things. Oh, I'm better. I have a better car. I have a better house. And I want you to realize how shallow these people are, because you are on the bus and they have a car. They think they're better than you. Oh, you live in a smaller house. I live in a bigger house. I'm better than you. Oh, you have your shirt have sleeve. You have a sleeveless shirt, but my shirt have sleeves. I have a brand. They will live off the brand inside their tags. Oh, I wear Gucci and I wear Chanel and I wear this and I wear that, and you are wearing members only jacket, and you are wearing, oh, what you got in there? Oh, you have some grapes and apples, the grapes and apple tags. Oh, no. You can't talk to me. And that's how shallow they are. Oh, I live here, so I'm a better person. So basically, based on their worldly goods, they think that they're better. But I want you to know that if you're so good and your riches were so much, you would need to go check on nobody's background. You will need to go and talk down to somebody else. If you're so happy with your goods, with all your degrees and your cars and your friends and your social status, why do you still have time for somebody who you deem to be insignificant? People will try to thwart your testimony and say that you're no good and you're no better. And oh, who are you to talk to me? But I want you to know, you may have been a prostitute, but God was never a prostitute. So when he uses you to distribute his word and to share his word and to share your testimony, you are speaking his words, not your own. When people want to look at you and say, oh, well, you used to take drugs, who are you to talk to me? The Lord never took drugs. But if he wants to use someone that used to take drugs to speak his words, you are not speaking your words, you're speaking the word of God, and his words are valid and his words are true and his word stands, because he is sovereign and he has no fault and he has no past, and so he can use whoever he wants to use to speak his word, and that cannot be challenged. So what they do when the word pricks and goes deep, they want to go past the word. They want to ignore the word that's true. They want to ignore the teaching that's true. And they want to go look at you. Oh, well, who do you think you are? And okay, I can't find nothing in your past, but I make more money than you. I can't find anything in your past, but I'm a part of this ministry, and I'm pastor over this campus, and I'm friends with this big wig, and I'm friends with that. That's why there's so many people in leadership that's being enabled to do wrong, because instead of being called out when somebody that they don't know, when it's somebody that's not a part of their clique tells them something that's true and that's right and that's accurate, they're gonna go back to their friends. They're going up to their friends that's in they're basically in this little exclusive club, and they're all massage one another, massage each other's egos. Oh, this person don't know who is it? Who is this person? What? No, they can't talk to you. They're not in our circle. They're not in our golf circle. They're not here in our Mile High Club. They don't have boats and yachts and airplanes and stuff like us. They're not being invited on talk shows. They don't know celebrities. They don't live in this exclusive neighborhood, so they can't tell you nothing. That's how they think. But God has a way of using the unknowns. God has a way of using what was tossed away. God has a way of using those who were flawed. He used the murderer, Saul, made him Paul. Nobody wanted to hear nothing from Saul. At first, they're like, no, you were killing us. But he can change you, turn you around. He could take Rahab, the harlot that was sleeping around, and put her in the lineage of God, because Rahab decided to help those spies. God can change your direction. And unfortunately, there are people who are still stuck. So you don't go back and get stuck with them. They throw things in your face because they want to. Because you know why they have to throw up your past? They can't talk about you at present because you're different. They can't talk about you now. So they got to go back to the days of the leg warmers. They got to go back to the days of the bell bottoms days. They got to go back to the days when I'm going to get you sucker first came out. They got to go back to 2000. They got to go back to 2005. Because right now you are walking in a way that's exemplary. It bothers them. It grates them. It makes them uncomfortable. They know that you're walking in the light of Christ. So they got to go now into their little goodie bags. They got to go now and go down into the basement of the past. Go and put on their mortuary cloak and go down and pull out your obituary. They got to go down there and dig you up out the grave. They got to go out there and go and talk to the dead man. They got to go into the sea of forgetfulness. They got to go scuba diving to go talk about who you used to be, because they have nothing on you now. And that should give you glory. That should make you give God the glory. That should make you rejoice, because they have to go to your past, because who you are at present, they can't accuse you. They can't accuse you. But they got to go back to the old. They got to go back to what's dead. They got to go back to what's no longer you. And so I just want to encourage you to just keep moving forward. No longer answer to that name. You no longer answer to that. You no longer answer to who they call you. The reason why they keep talking about the past is because that's where they're at. The reason why they keep talking about the old stuff is because that's where they're at. Just like I gave you that example with that ex from the past. They still think you like them, not knowing you have moved on. They think you still feel something for them. Why? Why? I don't feel nothing for you. This is over. I don't wish you any harm, but I'm done. He's done. They're done. We're done. Why are you saying that? Because they're stuck. They're back at that moment. They're back at when. They're back at when y'all used to be on the school ground. They're back to when y'all used to play red light, green light, hopscotch in the front yard, and you smiled. They're still back to that day when we were playing outside till the street lights came on. We had to go in. They're still there under the street lights, remembering how you smiled right before you had to go into your house. Embrace who you are now. You're not a fake. You're not a phony. You're not pretending. You're not talking different. You're not acting different because you're faking it. You're speaking different because you've been transformed. You're acting different because you have been changed. You are growing. You are moving on. You're not behaving the same way. You're not doing the same things. And a lot of times you got people still on the block. People still talking the same way. People still acting the same way. I'm sorry. Sometimes I look, I grew up around in the 80s and stuff. And sometimes I still look and I see the celebrities from back in the 80s still acting the same. You got the receding hairline now, dude. You look old now, but they still wearing the hip hop clothes and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, why haven't you evolved? Why haven't you changed? I understand that you may be a rapper. I may understand that you may be this person, but why are you still wearing those big shirts and all of that? You're like a whole 50-some-year-old person now. You're like pushing 60 right now. Why do you still look like hip hop you back in 85? This is just me. I could be wrong. I mean, you could wear nice clothes, but I don't see some people. I still see them looking the same way. And I don't know if they just have to keep that brand going, but you can still be you and just look just completely different. I can think of people that are artists right now that I knew coming up, and some of them I've seen them evolve. They've grown. They used to be rapping, they used to be whatever, they wore certain clothes back then, but then you just see them grow. Okay? You just see them evolved. They're still producing their music or whatever they're doing, but you see a change in their clothes and their attire. They move. I don't understand. You're like a whole 75 right now, and you're still rocking this lollipop in your mouth while you're talking as an adult. No, we gotta call a meeting. So the thing is, a lot of times they have not moved on. They have not grown. And they want to bring you back to this place where you're no longer. And so they're going to say, you think you're all that. You think you're better than me. No, I don't think you're better than me, but you must think I'm better than you because you're saying it. You think you're all that. I never said that. That means you think I'm all that. There are people, they don't want to come up. They don't want to change. They want you to stay where you're at. So you go home and they're still doing the same thing, still behaving the same way. You go around, you're at work, maybe you used to fool around and you're talking a lot at work. You decide, I'm going to focus and actually do my job. Well, they're teasing you now. They're making fun of you because you're really doing your job. You're really actually doing the inventory. You're really actually doing things properly. And so because you're doing that, maybe the people you used to be wasting time with is now talking about you. Because somebody may need to hear this. You may used to be the lazy person. You used to do things you shouldn't do. But now perhaps some conviction and you realize, I need to do my job properly. And now you're doing your job properly. The people that's usually sitting around not doing anything, they're asking, what are you doing? Come over here. We'll sit down. Let's watch this video. Let's talk. Let's just finagle the paperwork. And you're no longer doing that. They're going to laugh at you and they're going to talk about you. Why? Because you're growing. Oh, you think you're all that? You think you're going to be our boss? You think you're going to get promoted? The conversation is going to change. And so then you realize why they were always lazing around in the first place, because of their mindset and how they think. So when you want to strive, they're going to start to do what? Fight against you. You're not who you used to be. And you embrace that. You don't have to keep wearing the same old clothes. You want to wear something different. You want to look different. That's fine. And the way you'll know people are truly your friends or not, sometimes when you're trying to do something different, they'll laugh at you until you look silly. Oh, you like an old lady. You like some old man. Oh, you trying to do this. Oh, you're crazy. Why are you doing that? They're not good for you. You're not who you used to be. No matter who tries to keep you there, you let them stay there boxed in. Let them keep believing you still like them. Let them keep believing you still have a crush on them. Let them keep remembering what you did when you were 12 and what you did when you were 15 and how you used to go in and out of juvie and all this stuff. Let them stay there, but you're no longer there. You're free. And if they can bring you down, and if they can bring you to feel shame, you need to not be ashamed to face who you used to be. Okay, that's who I was, but that's not who I am anymore. And because of my past and the things that I have done, I'm going to be able to be a mouthpiece and a person that can encourage and mentor other people to let them know that they can do better. And sometimes, just don't give them an answer. Okay. Thumbs up. Just walk out the door. So guys, this is all I have. I hope this has encouraged you. I hope this really encouraged you to persevere. And one thing I will say here before I go is, remember this, sometimes there's people, you just got to change your environment. Psalm 1 says, blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. Some people, you can't keep listening to them. Don't walk in what they're telling you, nor stand in the way of sinners. That's the next thing that it says. Sometimes you can't socialize, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. You can't sit around with people that scorning you. It says, blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of the scornful. What's the opposite of blessed? Cursed. When you keep hanging around these type of people and listen to them, they will bring you down. We can appreciate where we came from. There was a stepping stones to where God has placed us now. So don't let anybody try to shoot you down. They're doing that because they're jealous. A lot of times they're doing that because they feel entitled. They're doing that because they want you to bow down to them. But God has placed you on a foundation where he wants you to go higher and higher and higher. Your natural father, your natural mother, your natural brothers, sisters, uncles, they may be your worst enemies, and they want to make you feel like, oh, you remember this, you peed the bed, but God, your heavenly Father, say, no, my son, no, my daughter, I'm going to show you something different. Yo, you went through your stage, you are going through your phase, but here you are now, and I want you to go higher. Don't you dare go back. and do not answer to the names they want to call you. And always remember, what God has cleansed, let no man call unclean. God bless.